Shawn Hektor Lewis, and I'm here with Ashley Kaltwasser, 3-time Miss Olympia. We've had an amazing weekend. I really couldn't be more thankful for what you've done for, the cuties here conquering the stage. Amazing information. The girls, everyone is giving me positive feedback about how, accommodating you are, allowing them to really talk to you and ask you all those questions that they're just dying to know. I wanted to ask you a couple of quick questions. And the main things are, what do you think it is for you personally that has set you apart from everybody? Why is it that you've been the only repeat Olympia champion for bikini? What is it that sets you apart?
Well, I think one of the biggest things is consistency and just improving every time. I'm very honest with myself. I'll look at my past show pictures and see, what, I can improve this, I can fix that, I can make this better. So if I keep improving and just keep bettering myself, that helps me as well, because not only do I have to beat the other competitors, I have to beat my last, appearance. So it's just a growing process for me. And another thing I think is huge is I allow myself to take breaks. I allow myself to be normal every once in a while, and I think that's where sometimes in the sport it can get a little tricky, because girls, they go hardcore, they go 100%, they go full go for a very short period of time, and then they lose their minds and just slip up, go crazy, and that's the last you see of them, because they're just tired of it, they're over it. So you just got to stay positive, you got to stay enthusiastic about what you do, and that's why I think that allowing yourself to take little breaks here and there and indulging a little bit, and cheat meals are part of that as well, just keeps you sane.
I agree with that. I see it a lot with female competitors, is that they just go gung-ho for a couple of years and they completely burn themselves out.
Absolutely.
There's been very few people that have been able to get on the pro stage year after year after year and perform well like you have. So I think that goes to show you do have to kind of give yourself the physical and mental break. That being said, what are you up to next? What is your next thing that you're going to be doing?
Well, the next show I'll be competing in is the Olympia, and there we go again with the break. I'm giving myself a little bit of a break, a little bit off season to focus on other things, maybe more on the business side of the sport. Seminars, doing things such as this, making appearances, photo shoots, and I get to travel a lot more when I'm not prepping, because traveling, it's very difficult when you're close to a show, especially if you're going overseas, internationally. Time zone changes, access to food isn't always the best. So it just allows me to have more opportunities. And as much as I want to compete in the Arnold, I won't be.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are disappointed, I know.
I was curious about that. I was like, why is her name not on the list?
That's a show. It's hard for me because it's very near and dear to my heart.
Yeah.
Ohio is my home state. Yep. I won it as an amateur overall in 2012. I won it 2 years in a row as a pro. So I think a lot of people were shocked and were questioning me, like, why? What's wrong with you? Why aren't you competing? But, I'm being smart about things. I'm allowing myself to take a break, take a little rest, work on things that I need to improve on. Still hitting the weights pretty heavy, but, just a mental break more than anything, I guess.
Well, I think that comes into play with you being such a great ambassador for the sport as well. I mean, you've got to show these girls an example, because if they follow that person that goes and burns themselves out, that's a problem. The reason why you've been able to be so successful and be so consistent is because you are leading by example.
Yes.
And I think that really makes a huge difference for you. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you out here, because I think you are that person that these girls all want to become at some point. So at least that's what I've heard from all of them. So you have made some fans for life here this weekend, that's for sure. So I really, really appreciate everything that you've done. You've given them some awesome information. Every one of them has said, oh my God, they've picked up a few tips that they've never heard before, which is great. And the other thing that I wanted to touch on before we close up is I just wanted to ask you what you would consider to be your number one piece of advice for somebody that's trying to get that it factor, like we've been talking about this weekend. What is it that they can do that's going to set them above everybody else when it gets to getting on stage or becoming that ambassador, becoming that fitness model? What's that one piece of pearl of wisdom that they can take from you?
Well, I would definitely say that, going back to what I said before, just taking every mistake you make and improving on it, because we're all going to make mistakes, especially in your first shows. It's bound to happen. It's inevitable. So just keep learning and keep improving. You never know where we'll be in 2 years, because for me, example, where I came from in the beginning, I was a hot mess. My hair, makeup, suit, tanning, even those little things like that, and I fixed them. I improved on it each time, and it worked out well for me. And another thing is, too, and I spoke on this during the seminar, you know, enjoy the journey,
Yeah.
enjoy the experience altogether. Don't focus on a number result.
Yes.
You know, just be proud of all how far you've come. Shake as many hands as you can. Meet friends, take pictures, document, live in the moment, and try to make memories last forever. Because you know, we're only young and beautiful and in shape this only once.
Yeah.
So on a short period of our lives. So just enjoy it and take every health advice. Just take that and remember it forever, and you can apply into your everyday life when you're done competing as well. Because that is one thing I think the sport has really taught me a lot about: nutrition, health, and how to eat healthy, how to train properly. So you can take those little tidbits and apply them to even when you're done.
Right. And I think the sum up the whole thing is that we're here to create a better lifestyle.
Yes.
You know, we're only on stage for a couple minutes
Mm-hmm.
at most.
Yes.
You know, so overall we need to remember that that it's got to be a complete lifestyle. You got to enjoy the time that you have, because we don't have forever to be able to be up on that stage.
Right.
So yeah, you got to train and enjoy it, and remember that even when we get off stage, when we are older, that everything that we did when we were younger has helped us to lead a better life when we're older.
Absolutely.
Yeah, great pieces of advice. Again, I really appreciate you coming out here. Like I said, the girls loved it. Couldn't have asked for anything better. Couldn't have asked for a better ambassador for the sport. So I really appreciate everything that you did for our Cuties Conquering the Stage this weekend. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Shawn, Hektor Lewis back again. We're at the Cuties Conquering the Stage, and I'm here with Becky Clawson, who is an IFBB pro. She's turned pro in figure just like me, and is now an IFBB bikini pro just like me. She is also a national level judge, so she's been giving a ton of awesome feedback to our girls this weekend. I know I've had quite a few of my girls actually step in front of you on the national stage, and the great thing about what you've done this weekend is just confirmed all of the things I tell them all the time.
Yes,
so
very similarly. Yes.
So there is a method to the madness. I think the biggest thing that a lot of people say about bikini is there's no rules to it. There's no criteria. The same thing with figure. Sometimes we get down to those nitty gritty things and they're like, what are they, especially these bodybuilders, they're like, what are they picking these girls on? Really? Like their heels and how they walk and stuff like that's important. But it is. So going along this theme of what we've been doing this weekend, what would you consider to be what sticks out in your head as a judge? When you see a girl on stage, what is it that will be like, yeah, I want her in my first call out?
I say it's that it factor, which is basically confidence. It's a way of carrying themselves. Of course, it's the entire package. The physique, the presentation has to be on point. But if there is that extra security, that confidence with the way they carry themselves on stage, you just can't stop looking at a person like that. That's human nature, and that's what I keep trying to get across to people. Everything has to be on point. The details have to add up to one package that in those first few seconds is going to grab somebody's eye.
Absolutely.
And then from there you get a deeper look, and you're going to get a call out, and different people are going to notice you. So
Yeah.
it's really that overall.
One of the things I tell girls all the time with this, hair, makeup, posing, all that stuff, it doesn't matter until you have your physique right.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
but once your physique is there, these little details do make that difference. I've always said, I was like, I'm going to be honest with you, I never had the best physique on stage. I never thought I did, but I knew how to present it really, really well.
Yes.
I knew how to pose myself. I knew how to do my hair and makeup so that I would stand out, those kinds of things. What would you consider, if you had somebody who had that physique that's almost there, what could they do that would take them to that next level?
Of course, posing is very strategic, especially in bikini. There are so many options. I say stick to a clean routine that presents every pose in its best light, and only the poses that are flattering. There is no need to do a bunch of different things if your body isn't going to look right. We're looking for things that are wrong with you.
Yes.
So if you can just keep it clean and simple, present what you know to be your best attributes, that's what's most important. Keep it clean, keep it simple, and then work on the other finishing touches, the hair, the makeup, the tan, the suit. Make sure that is all on point. That is what can take someone who's more of a beginner up into the higher call-outs to get you at least a look. And then when your physique progresses to that level, it's those same details that take you from 5th to 1st and possibly a pro card. So it matters on every level, even as you're working on your physique, even as you're first starting.
And to finish this out, as a judge, what is your biggest, I guess, pet peeve of somebody that you would see on stage? What is the one thing that you're like, every time you see it, you just cringe? What is that one thing?
I would say in bikini, it's the overt posing. It's really not necessary to pose in a really provocative way to present your physique well on stage. I don't think most girls are comfortable with it. And I think somehow the idea gets out there that that's what you need to do. And it's really not encouraged by judging. It's not encouraged by the promoters for sure. It's something that just is not necessary. And I guess you almost feel awkward seeing girls doing that because I feel like they probably don't want to pose that way, but somebody's told them that they need to. And that's where good coaching and a lot of feedback and stuff from decent sources comes in, because that is just something that I can't promote that on stage. I cannot reward that on stage because it is not the criteria, and that's something that's changing even over the next year. They're going to become harsher on that because it isn't inappropriate for the stage. So it's really unfortunate when I see someone who has everything else together and has a fabulous physique and they present it in the worst way, because it's going to be penalized. And it's such a shame to think they've probably trained for 16 weeks for this, and all because of that,
They're going to be knocked down.
Yes. So that's the hardest thing to say.
Well, it's good to hear that too, though, on that aspect, because we want to make sure that these girls get the message.
Yes.
So, a lot of times I feel like the girls see that on stage, and because of the lineup, because of the people that have shown up, that girl still ends up winning, so they think they have to do that.
Right.
So I like the idea that it's going to be negatively scored at this point.
Yes.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
So in closing, what is the one piece of advice that you could give to somebody when they're going to step on either local, national, whatever kind of stage? What is the one piece of advice?
I like the same things that Ashley says about thinking about your entire experience, enjoy the whole experience, and look at it as that's your best day on stage. It doesn't really matter what anyone else brings to the stage. You're going to look amazing, you're going to feel amazing, and you should just own that moment. Think about it in those terms. Think about it in terms of the time you'll spend with your friends and your teammates backstage, connections that you might be able to make for further opportunities in the industry. There are so many different positives outside of just a placing. I think that's the way I always approached my whole career, and just succeeding and winning was the icing on the cake. And I think if you can keep that broad perspective from all the positive things that can come from competing outside of even placing, you'll have a really good experience, and I think it'll be something that you'll want to do long term.
Awesome. Well, again, I really appreciate you coming out. This has been awesome. I just like Ashley, the girls have said nothing but positive things about the things that you've been able to tell them and teach them. Amazing information. So I, again, really, really appreciate it. I appreciate the support, and all the girls appreciate everything that you've done this weekend. And thank you so much for coming out to our Cuties Conquering the Stage.
Thank you so much for having me. I can't wait to come back.
Absolutely.
I'm hanging out here in the lobby of the hotel with Becky Clawson, and we are at the Cuties Conquering the Stage event hosted by Shawn, Hektor, Lewis. And we're having a good time here. I think we're providing the girls with a lot of positive and useful information that hopefully they'll apply to their next show and life in general. Me and Becky have done some seminars together in the past, but I would say this is probably the most well-run and organized one we've been to so far.
Super well run, super well organized, very comprehensive. Everything from teaching makeup and having the girls actually apply it, which is something I've never seen done. That's something I could have really used when I was starting out, since I'm still kind of clueless on that. Everything from that to fitness modeling to posing and presentation. I've never seen anything this comprehensive. I wish I had this when I started, really.
Lots of information out there. I mean, I hope the ladies really enjoyed their time. I think they did. We had a lot of questions being asked. Everybody seemed so enthusiastic and into it, and just willing to pay attention and learn, and just you can tell that they were just hungry for this knowledge, and they really appreciated it.
Great attitudes, I think. I think everybody enjoyed meeting each other too, which is another thing we always talk about. Another benefit of this sport is meeting friends that you can enjoy their friendship long after you're done competing, and even outside of the gym. And I feel like some of that went on here, and that's pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
So this was a great experience all the way around.
Absolutely. I felt like everybody was super welcoming, like, just very friendly, and just I don't know. I couldn't have asked for a better experience, to be honest. The hotel, the setup,
Yep.
how everything was ran, the schedule, very well put together.
Everything was on point. This was a great weekend for us.
Thank you guys, and hopefully you catch some of the video footage or behind the scenes photos. Until next time, bye.